Alright, now I know I said I wasn't gonna be doing anything like this soon, but man, this shit is too fun. I won't even lie, this shit is fun. So Just Stop, who is a pretty popular cartoon reviewer and has been in the game for a while now, just released this video explaining to his audience why he's not a quote-unquote armchair critic, and that he actually knows how to review things. That's the basic gist of this video, and it doesn't sound too bad on the surface, but as I watched the video I realized, this nigga shedding a whole lot of bullshit. Like, I left the video wondering why he even made it, or why I sat through all 23 minutes of it. So, not wanting to feel like I completely wasted my time, I'm gonna roast this man. Some of the things I say might not be nice, but that's not what I'm here to be. We are here to absolutely obliterate this man. It's all in good fun though. I don't even really know dude like that, and I do like some of his stuff. This is not an attack on his character. Now that that's out of the way, so no one can say shit on Twitter, let the pack out begin.
Also, look at the Patreon, link in the description.
He's just not a good essayist. Very much a know-it-all armchair critic type. This is a tweet I saw someone make about me a while ago that's been weighing on my brain for a little while now.
Immediately pause. Off rip, you already look like a goofball right now. You're telling me you saw a tweet made by some random person with 2 likes to their name and decided to make a 23-minute video on a term that you admit you didn't even know the full definition of. Why are you doing this? What are you doing? He claims that it was an interesting criticism to see in his comment, sure, but at the end of the day, this is fucking wild. I'm not against the concept of the video, but the reasoning behind it makes it look way chronically online. Like, you saw this tweet and immediately got compelled to dispel this criticism for Mr. 2 likes over here. And I want you to keep this in mind for the rest of this video. This simple question: what is he trying to prove? What does this video do for him and his audience? Remember this.
Do I think of myself as a critic? I guess I wouldn't say that I'm not a critic. I do criticize stuff as a main facet of my content, but I don't know, I'm not sure I'd give myself the explicit title of critic, mainly for the reason that while it's at the center of most of my videos, it's never the only main focus. For example, my Death by Nicktoons video is a channel retrospective on a paid network full of shows nobody got the chance to see, so in reviewing them, I also want to give a rundown of their productions and why they got cancelled to help highlight the injustice. Then there's some of my ranking videos, where I like to use them to go through the careers of the creators at the center, be it Ralph Bakshi or Don Bluth, and show what that film says about them and their careers at the time they made them.
Alright, listen, Just Stop or Just Cope, yeah, I'm gonna call you Just Cope because that's what this video is. You are a critic. Let's just get this out the way, you are a critic. This point makes zero sense. Claiming that you are not solely a critic because you go over the history of people behind works and how networks like Nicktoons fell off is part of criticism. You are critically analyzing Ralph Bakshi's filmography and its history. You are critically analyzing how Nicktoons treated its IPs. That is part of criticism. You are a critic. Just because you go over things that are related to the actual material doesn't make your content any less critical though. This point confuses me too, because what else would you want to be labeled as? You're not an artist, by your own admission. You don't make anything else besides your critical analysis of cartoons, so what else are you?
Then again, I don't think that's what the person criticizing me is really talking about. No, more likely they're talking about how good my practical knowledge on animation is, like whether or not I can do animation well myself. And the truth of the matter is that, no, I don't, not a bit. But is that really such a bad thing when it comes to criticism? Like, as I've said before, I'm knowledgeable on animation and its inner workings, I just personally don't have much experience with it. That's how it is for a lot of people who criticize most things. Is that a problem? Because I don't think so, not inherently.
Now this is where I'm actually gonna agree with Just Cope. It's not a bad thing to be a critic and not have any practical experience with animation. I don't. A lot of us don't, yet we're still making these videos because it doesn't take an animator or a writer to know when something is bad, although it could give you a unique perspective. Where I'm gonna criticize him here is, why are you telling us this? Most of us already know this is true. Why are you trying to prove that it's fine if you don't know how to animate but still criticize animation? Also, this person never even implied that's what they meant, so why would you spend minutes on a point that was never even implied? This is the type of shit niggas on Twitter do. You'll make a perfectly understandable point and then someone else will misinterpret it to fit some sort of narrative. This person never made it clear at any point that they're referring to your practical experience with animation, so why even mention it? It really feels like you're just trying to protect some sort of image or ego you got going on. Why are we here, Just Cope? But that isn't even the worst part to me though. The worst and most confusing part of this video is that to prove that he knows how to critique the artistic aspects of a cartoon, he spends a solid 5 minutes criticizing how the amount of stripes on a Has-Been Hotel's character designs makes it harder for them to be animated. Again, he's not exactly wrong. In fact, in many factors, he's correct. But why are you even doing this? This video is supposed to be about you, so why are we even talking about Hazbin Hotel? And why do you need to prove to this nameless fucking Twitter user that you do actually know what you're talking about? Fucking goofball activities, man. This is just a nothing burger of a video, literal air between two buns. That was the experience I had watching this shit. The next point that I want to bring up though actually relates to a lot of the other habits that Mr. Cope has been developing in some of his videos.
At least avoid making definite claims when I couldn't possibly know. A great example of this is when someone calls animation lazy, which in my eyes is probably one of the dumbest possible criticisms you could have for an animated work, seeing as by its very nature, animation is incredibly difficult. The Korean animator who did a couple sloppy scenes in Steven Universe didn't make them look that way out of laziness. Most likely they either weren't getting paid a lot, weren't directed well, or possibly just didn't have the time to make it look better.
Alright, don't cast shade on the people animating the stuff. Sometimes there are reasons as to why something doesn't look as well animated as it could have, sure. Then why did you insinuate that Wish was made by AI multiple times? Why do you compare Wish to Leo in that one video, despite the fact that the two movies literally had nothing to do with each other? Why did you spend half of your Monsters at Work video criticizing a character design like it was the end of the world, before admitting that you still needed to watch the show to continue the video? Why do you act like Hazbin Hotel has some of the worst animation ever when it's inconsistent at worst? What is with that behavior? You're actively condescending to the people who spend hours animating and designing these things. You cannot speak like this, my guy. I know that some of the stuff is from a while ago, sure, and I haven't heard of you doing anything like that in a minute, but man, you cannot be the one saying this. You cannot be the one talking about the stripes on Alistair's coat like you onto something. Like, do better, bro. And in all seriousness, let me be completely serious here. I genuinely don't have shit against the guy personally. I've actually been keeping up with his videos for about 6 years now, and he has been capable of making well-researched stuff. But everything that I've mentioned here is a problem. Stuff that I haven't seen anybody address on a major scale. You won't see his comments talking like this because his audience clearly doesn't care or are too busy glazing the man. This video was wholly unnecessary, showed me that Braxton takes the opinions of Twitter way too seriously, and obviously has some stuff to work on as a creator, but I guess we all do. Cause videos like this are not the move. And I hope for his sake, he stops. He just stops. Alright, I'm done with the jokes, I apologize.